Hello and welcome back to Stomp City and another episode of ECW Lives on TEW 2016, and today it is time for the ECW Fight Series. And as you can see on the screen right now, this is the brackets for the tournament, and I'm going to quickly run down how it's going to work. So, Fight Series consists of 4 groups, Group A, B, C and D. Everybody in one group will fight each other twice. You get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw and 0 points for a loss. In total there will be 6 matches in a group, and whoever has the most points after the 6 matches will be declared the group winner and will qualify through to the semi-finals. And of course the semi-finals will be 2 matches and 4 wrestlers, and the winners of those 2 semi-finals will face in the final to be crowned the Fight Series winner. And whoever wins the final will get an ECW Championship match. But the ECW Champion is in the tournament, so if he wins then nobody gets a shot. And that will mean Bill Goldberg gets bragging rights basically, and shows that he is the most dominant competitor in ECW. And the rules for the tournament aren't just singles matches. Every match takes place inside a steel cage. They have 20-minute time limits, and of course if the draw occurs through a time limit, that's when the 1 point system comes into place, where both competitors will get 1 point. The matches can be won only by submission, knockout or referee stoppage, at the referee's discretion of course. Interference or leaving the cage will result in a disqualification, therefore 3 points for the opponent, and the group winners, as I say, will qualify for the semi-finals of the Fight Series. Let's run through the groups first. We've got Group A, which consists of Minoru Tanaka, Raven and Samoa Joe, so a solid group, probably the strongest group on paper. And of course Minoru Tanaka in a heated rivalry currently with the Dangerous Alliance, and he's going to be looking to get one over on Samoa Joe. Raven, of course, the current ECW television champion, and wants to raise his stock in the company by becoming the ECW champion, of course. Then in Group B, we've got Bryan Danielson, the ECW champion Goldberg, and Lance Storm. So some good matches to be had here. We've got the underdog Bryan Danielson going to be taking on Bill Goldberg, which is going to be a tough task for Bryan, but he'll be relishing that one. And we've also got a wrestling masterclass that will be taking place between Bryan Danielson and Lance Storm, so that's going to be hopefully an excellent match. And of course Bryan Danielson has a little bit of a history with the Dangerous Alliance as well. And in Group C we've got Brian Kendrick, CM Punk and Prince Devitt. And of course Brian Kendrick in alignment with Raven, and they work together, and Kendrick got involved in the #1 contendership match and essentially cost CM Punk the opportunity at a rematch for his title for the ECW Championship, which Punk just lost not long ago. So Punk looking to get some revenge on Nest member Kendrick in this tournament. And we've also got the wild card of the group, Prince Devitt, who has just moved up to the heavyweight division after a successful run in the junior heavyweight division. And then we go to Group D, which consists of Heavy Metal, Yun Akiyama and Ken Shamrock. And Ken Shamrock recently debuting and could potentially be the favourite for this tournament. He's got the fighting experience, of course, in the UFC along with other promotion. And we've got Yun Akiyama, just moved over from 0-1 after losing his 0-1 heavyweight championship to Rhino in the Tokyo Dome, and now he's part of the ECW roster, at least for the Fight Series. We'll see how he does. And we've also got Heavy Metal, just signed from AAA, looking to make a statement in this one. So a lot going on, and this will take place over 6 weeks of Revolt. So hopefully you're excited for the Fight Series. If you are, drop a like on the video and let me know your predictions down below. Who do you think is going to win each group, and who do you think is going to be the ultimate winner? And the Fight Series is going to take place in a new venue that I don't think we've had matches in before, and it's got a good vibe. It looks a little bit like a prison, so it kind of fits the Fight Series vibe. So yeah, an interesting scenery for the shows. But anyway, let's get into the show, where we start with a dark match, and this is between junior heavyweights Shane Helms, Dragon Kid and Low Ki in a triple threat. And Shane Helms manages to get the win after pinning Low Ki with a Verta breaker. And good match overall to get the show going. We've got a 62C here. 58 for Helms, Dragon Kid with a 57 and Low Key with a 57, so everyone in around the same range. Apparently Low Key was off his game, so he underperformed tonight, but still solid match. And we go into the next match where it's also a 62C, where we see Heavy Metal defeat Shinsuke Nakamura in 14 minutes 58 by pinfall with a La Casita. And this is just to get Shinsuke's popularity up in the tri-state, and he's going up against an upper mid-carder currently who of Heavy Metal, and it's a bit of a warm-up match for Heavy Metal. He's not going to be on tonight's card in the fight series, and I thought he'd be a good opponent for Shinsuke to get exposure against. And a 62C should give Nakamura a little bit of a boost in popularity in the region, and he's put in a good performance for himself tonight with a 46, which I wasn't expecting. His popularity is 12, I think, here, so he's really overperformed there, and I guess his performance skills have given that one instead of popularity. And Heavy Metal had an in-ring performance of 67, and Heavy Metal is improving in Rumble skills. And this is Nakamura's first ECW appearance. I'm still a little bit torn over which company he's going to represent. With performances like this, he could be a big part of Revolt going forward. And before we get into the show, let's run through tonight's matches, which will be Yun Akiyama taking on Ken Shamrock in what will be a very hard-hitting contest, and hopefully a good rating on that one. Then we've got Brian Kendrick taking on CM Punk after Kendrick cost Punk the ECW title shot. Then we've got Bryan Danielson, the underdog, taking on Goldberg, and it's a big chance for Bryan to get himself a big win. And even if he doesn't win, the rating with Goldberg should help get him over towards that main event scene, and that is a big benefit of this. Everyone is fighting everyone in the group, and it's good exposure for everyone, and hopefully everyone rises in popularity as a result of this fight series, and a match like this is a perfect example of how that's going to happen. And in our main event, we're going to see Samoa Joe take on Minoru Tanaka, and of course Minoru Tanaka just lost at the Tokyo Dome against Goldberg, and tonight he takes on Goldberg's Dangerous Alliance partner, Samoa Joe, and it should be a good match. For the fight series, there's not going to be many angles, if any. In between the matches, it'll just be me going through and showing you the updated fight series groups as we roll on, so don't expect too many angles. But yeah, let's get into the first match, which will be Yun Akiyama taking on Ken Shamrock, and in 11 minutes 27, Yun Akiyama defeats Ken Shamrock by submission, and that's 3 points for Yun Akiyama on the board, and 75 for Yun Akiyama, so really good performance in America. So we know that he gets great ratings in Japan, and it's good to see that translating over here, at least somewhat, in the tri-state. And Ken Shamrock gets a 66, and a little bit underperforming for him, but he wasn't happy about losing this match, so that might be why he wasn't trying as much. But 65C, and as you can see on the board, Yun Akiyama gets the 3 points there and goes top of the group. As we head into our next match, which will be Brian Kendrick taking on CM Punk, and of course we've covered the history between these two, and it's going to be important for Punk to get the victory tonight, and he will be trying to get revenge on the Nest. And we go into the match, and it's a draw after the time limit expired in 20 minutes. And this match got a really good rating, but Punk not managing to get the victory again, and he's been really struggling recently, and that continues tonight as he can't defeat Brian Kendrick. But this is a huge draw for Brian Kendrick to show that he's on par with CM Punk, at least tonight. Apparently Punk was off his game, only getting a 70. Kendrick underperforming as well with a 56, but a good rating overall with a 72B-. Raven did some good work at ringside, of course, not allowed to interfere, otherwise it would have cost Kendrick the match. But yes, solid rating there, and as you can see on the board now, Brian Kendrick and CM Punk both have 1 point in Group C. And next up we go into a Group B match, which will be Bryan Danielson taking on Goldberg, and after 9 minutes 48, Goldberg has got the win after knocking out Bryan Danielson, and this is the first knockout win of the fight series, and Bryan Danielson got a 63, Goldberg with an 87, so really good from Goldberg here. And Goldberg improving in performance skills as well, so that's good to see that he's getting even better. And 79B as Bill Goldberg gets 3 points on the board. And we head into our main event, which will be Group A's Minoru Tanaka taking on Samoa Joe. And in 19 minutes 27, so just on the verge of the time limit, Minoru Tanaka has managed to make Samoa Joe tap to the Minoru special. And what a rating this is, by the way. A 90A for this one. A huge match. I think that's our first A in America. So massive match here. And Samoa Joe had an in-ring performance of 81. And Minoru Tanaka had an in-ring performance of 83. So both of them killing it tonight. And yeah, the right decision was made to put this in the main event. I was kind of torn between the Bryan Goldberg match and this one, but Tanaka and Joe have more experience in the main event than Bryan, so that's why I went that way, and it's paid off. We've got a 90A, which Samoa Joe is improving in flying skills as well as performance skills, so great way to end the show. Tanaka not being happy about being in a brawl-based match, but he's still got an 83, so not too bad. And the show has got an 86 B+. Mad. And of course we've increased our popularity in 20 regions. So let's get into the next episode of Revolt, where we're going to see round 2 of the group stage of the Fight series. And tonight from Group D, we're going to be seeing Ken Shamrock take on Heavy Metal, as the former UFC fighter Ken Shamrock takes on the luchador Heavy Metal. So an interesting dynamic there. Can the speed of Heavy Metal defeat the sheer brute power of Ken Shamrock? And Ken Shamrock comes in to this match with a loss already on his record, and of course this is Heavy Metal's first match of the Fight series. Then we go into Group C, where we see Prince Devitt take on CM Punk, and this follows CM Punk's time limit draw last week with Brian Kendrick. And can Punk finally get the win that he's looking for? Of course Prince Devitt will do everything he can to stop that from happening. And then from Group B, we've got Lance Storm taking on Goldberg, and this is Storm's first match of the Fight series, but of course Goldberg getting the knockout victory over Bryan Danielson last week will look to continue that form. And in the main event, we're going to see the ECW Television Champion Raven take on Samoa Joe, and of course Joe last week losing to Minoru Tanaka. He's going to look to avenge that loss tonight against the ECW Television Champion. But let's get into it and see how the results go. And we start the show with a dark match, and it's going to be a 6-man tag between 6 junior heavyweights. And we've got AJ Styles teaming with Garuda and Great Sasuke taking on Milano Collection AT, Shuji Kondo and Yoshinari Agawa. And again, this is just to get the crowd going. And in 15 minutes 04, AJ Styles pins Yoshinari Agawa after a Styles clash to get the victory for his team. And AJ Styles was head and shoulders with everyone else with a 76. And the best of the rest was Great Sasuke with 56. Everyone else in and around the 50s and 40s. But yeah, good match to start the show with a 61C. Yoshinari Agawa is improving in performance skills and Sasuke improving in Rumble. And next up, another dark match where again same philosophy as last time, getting Shinsuke Nakamura some exposure in the tri-state, and this time he's taking on Minoru Tanaka, who isn't wrestling tonight in the Fight series. So he's in the dark match against Nakamura and has got the win in 9 minutes 40 by pinfall with a roundhouse kick. And Tanaka got an 89 and Nakamura got a 43, and the match gets a 78B, so probably the best dark match we've ever had. But again, Tanaka just killing it with the ratings. A good rating as we head into the show, and potential feud for the future, or maybe even a tag team, who knows. But they seem to gel well. And yeah, let's get into the main Fight series though, where we're going to start with the Group C match between Prince Devitt and CM Punk. Of course, this being Prince Devitt's first fight of the Fight series, and CM Punk coming in off the draw last week with Brian Kendrick. So he's on 1 point, Devitt's of course on 0, and the winner of this will go top of the group as it stands. Let's see how they get on. But neither man can get a victory before the time limit, as there is a draw after 20 minutes. And it looks like so far the Group C is the group of draws, as no man has yet to pick up a victory. And currently at the top of the group, CM Punk with his 2 points and Kendrick on 1, as well as Devitt. So Devitt and Kendrick will fight next week, which will give us a better idea on who is currently doing the best in this group, as everyone will have had the same amount of fights. But as we head into the next one, which will see Ken Shamrock, former UFC fighter, taking on the luchador Heavy Metal, and it's going to be an interesting clash of styles. with the MMA fighter taking on, of course, the luchador signed from AAA. And Ken Shamrock has managed to pick up the 3 points today after defeating Heavy Metal in 10 minutes by submission with an ankle lock. And Ken Shamrock got an in-ring performance of 63, Heavy Metal with a 68, and apparently Heavy Metal improving in rumble skills as well, 72 B- overall, so good match here. And 3 points in the bag for Ken Shamrock as he goes joint top of Group D. And next up we head into the Group B match where Lance Storm is going to be taking on Goldberg, with Goldberg currently on 3 points after a knockout win last week against Bryan Danielson, as we said earlier. And again, Goldberg has managed to get a knockout victory over his opponent in 9 minutes 23. A good match here again, 77 B overall, 49 for Storm, 87 for Goldberg. So Goldberg again carrying the rating up into the Bs. And this puts Goldberg on 6 points now, top of the group, and easily the favourite to qualify through to the semi-finals from Group B. It's going to be tough for Storm or Bryan to catch him now. And next up we head into the Group A match, which is headlining the show again, with Raven taking on Samoa Joe. And Joe, of course, losing last week to Minoru Tanaka, and Raven yet to fight who is going to pick up the 3 points in this one. And it's another draw, with Raven and Samoa Joe failing to pick up the victory as we head to a time limit draw. And this got an 89A. Somehow we've had 2A main events in the last 2 revolts. Samoa Joe with an 86, Raven with an 81, so both men killing it tonight in their hard-fought draw. And yeah, Samoa Joe and Raven on par tonight, giving each of them 1 point. So Raven now sits on 1 point, Joe sits on 1 point, and Tanaka top of the group with 3. And Raven is improving in performance skills apparently. Overall in the show we've got an 85 B+, increasing our popularity in 18 regions. You'll notice it's 18 instead of 20 as it was last week, because we've moved the Japan TV deals, the KTV and Sapporo TV I think it was, over to Pro Wrestling 01's TV show, which makes sense because it's a Japanese promotion. So we've got 2 less TV deals for Revolt, but we're still shown all over Canada and America, of course Scotland. And we've also got 1 Japan TV deal as well. But let's take a look at the TV ratings for these 2 shows as we end this one with an 85 B+, so another great show. So if we take a look at last week, we got an 8.31, which brought in 3.7 million viewers, which it looks like is the highest we've had. And have we improved this week with the latest show? And we have, with an 8.87, closing in on those 7 million viewers. And we sold out the armory this week. Last week we didn't. So signs of improvements in the tri-state and globally. And it's a little bit surprising actually, because we've got 2 less TV deals this week. So somehow we've still managed to top ourselves, not in that way. And yeah, good stuff as we head into the next episode, which will be week 3 and week 4 of the ECW fight series. So if you're excited for that, drop a like on the video. Just make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss another episode. And why not check out one of the videos that you can see on the screen right now. My Football Manager 2020 series is there if you're interested. But until next time, peace.